Hey there, what's going on out there? It's rainy and wet out here in Phoenix. And when you live in Phoenix, most people always have to comment on that because it's a big deal. It's not 2,000 degrees. All right, first of all, do me a favor and make sure you hit the like and share. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you keep getting content as it comes up, as we put it out. Anyway, I hope you're having an amazing week so far. Happy hump day. I want to talk to you about a powerful subject today that doesn't get discussed much. It's our own limiting beliefs. That's what I want to talk about today, our own thoughts that we put in our head. These are these subconscious thoughts and beliefs that can have a major impact on our lives and even hold us back, from reaching our real true dreams. And the saddest thing about this is that you might not even be aware that you're participating in these limiting beliefs or helping these limiting beliefs, or that they're getting in your way. So I want to kind of shed some light on that today. But before I get too much further, let me introduce myself. If you're watching this and you don't know who I am, my name's Clarence. I'm from Coach Clarence Fitness and Nutrition, and I help people lose unwanted body fat and help men and women regain their vitality and health through nutrition, fitness, and mindset reprogramming. And I watch clients struggle all the time with their own limiting beliefs. Heck, I've battled them myself, so I know they exist. I don't think anybody grows up without at least a few of them. A limiting belief is basically a subconscious thought that frames how you see the world. Have you ever caught yourself thinking things like, I never follow through. I'm not good enough. I could never do that. I always procrastinate. I don't know enough. I'm not motivated enough. I'm too shy. I'm too fat. I'm too tall. I'm too skinny. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't deserve it. And the list goes on and on. As you can see, you may have even said some of those I said earlier. These are forms of limiting beliefs. And in many cases, we end up with these beliefs because when we were kids, our parents, teachers, or loved ones, or someone who had an influence on us wanted to keep us safe. But as children are very smart, and sometimes their active minds can internalize a warning about a real danger as a flaw within themselves. As an example, they can think they aren't worthy of something, or that they're not capable of achieving certain goals on a very basic level. A common sense warning like, don't play in the street, can become, the world is dangerous, and if I could get hurt if I go too far from the curb or my house. And that's an extreme example, but you kind of understand what I'm saying. And in time, they start to cut back on their adventurousness that's naturally occurring in them. And then it just becomes a fact of your life. You stay on the curb in terms of your own mental growth. Here's some more examples if you haven't heard some of these. Money doesn't grow on trees. It can make you think that you are not worthy of abundance or capable of earning a substantial living or a substantial income. So why even try? And I know a lot of people who think like that. If you struggle with learning new skills or had older brothers or sisters who like to tease you when you tried new things and you didn't do so well at them, you might believe you aren't coordinated. So you avoid anything new that makes you feel uncomfortable or feel that way. Now, these examples are not to cast blame at all. As I said, we all have limiting beliefs. Every single one of us does. But as an adult, it's up to us to shred them, to get rid of them. You definitely owe that to yourself. And you totally can do it. It's very simple. It's simple mindset shifts. Here's one way to look at it. Here's one way to deal with limiting beliefs that puts it all in perspective and can help you shut them down when you start to notice them. Have you ever been using your computer and you notice it's really running slow and you can't shift to another screen, or it gets bogged down and it makes it hard to get anything done? I'm sure most of us have experienced that. It's very frustrating, especially me. I do a lot of stuff on the computer. But then you realize you've got way too many browsers open, or too many tabs, or too many programs open. You haven't even restarted your computer in like a few weeks. You haven't even updated the apps that you get warnings about doing. And you've been meaning to do that, you've just been busy. We all get there. Give me a like if that's ever happened to you. You've been sitting on your computer and it's moving slow and you go, man, I gotta fix this computer. A lot of times it's just shutting down some of the other stuff. So I want you to think of your mind as a computer, and your limiting beliefs are the things bogging you down and holding you back. It's kind of the same idea, actually. You know, it's time to reboot your thinking, to shut down some of these limiting thoughts that are just robbing you of reaching your full potential. Now, the trickiest part is obviously going to be recognizing what your own personal limiting beliefs are, especially if they're deeply ingrained. You know, it could take some time. You could be accepting them as basic facts of life. Most people generally do after years of telling themselves the same thing. You can believe you aren't athletic, or you aren't attractive, or you aren't lovable. You might believe you aren't smart or talented, that you never finish anything, that you can't remember anyone's name, you don't have any willpower. The list goes on and on and on and on. I mean, think about it. I'll never be smart. I'll never lose weight. These are some things you tell yourself. And the truth is, you might even haven't spent years of proving these facts to yourself by things you think to yourself, things you say and do. Just because it's something you started to believe years ago when you were really young. So I'm guessing that right now you can think of at least one limiting belief that you currently have right now. And I encourage you to spend a little time reflecting on what those are and what they may be or mean to you. Once you've identified the biggest limiting belief holding you back, it's time to get to work to shut it down. Very simple. Identify, shut it down. First of all, every time you feel yourself slipping into that thought pattern, stop yourself and go, that's an old program. I don't need it anymore. Let's close that window down. It's time to delete it, reboot. But it's important also to acknowledge the thought. Recognize it as false and move on. You can even laugh at it. You can even go, wow, I actually thought that about myself. It's really amazing, the power of thought. Like how I caught myself. What was I doing? That totally takes away the power of a thought. Author and self-development expert Jack Canfield recommends that you come up with a turnaround phrase that's the opposite of your limiting belief, and then you repeat it regularly. What do I mean? So if you think, I can't do anything right, so why even try? Instead, you might say something like, list of things that you've done really well and you've done right and had success with them, and things that you've achieved. But the most important thing is actually recognizing those beliefs in the first place, because that will help you start to take away the power it has over you. So anyway, I hope this helps a little bit. Start thinking about your own personal limiting beliefs and how you can overcome them. They play such a huge role in your wellness and fitness and in the quality of your life, to be honest, and your relationships, everything you do. So take a minute and think about those, and think about how you can change your own path, and hopefully we can turn it around for the future.